Hello, my name is Pratiksha Manglekar, and in today's session we are going to learn a little bit about description. Description is a very important language ability that we all possess. However, the fluency of a person's language is understood through description. What is description? Description is nothing but narration, right? For example, you are witnessing a particular situation, or you are you happen to meet a new person, or you happen to experience something new, and you want to go and tell this to someone else who wasn't present in that particular situation. How will you do this? How will you narrate all this to them? With the help of describing words, with the help of description. What you are essentially going to do is describe that entire situation to that person who wasn't there, so that they get to know what happens in that, or what has happened with you, or who you have encountered, or what situation you have encountered, right? It is a spoken or a written account of a person, feelings, objects, picture, place, or an event. Description is nothing but to give details of something or to describe something, and the more details you give, the better that description will turn out. Several competitive examinations have such a question in their question papers, that to describe something, description of something really tells the person's language abilities. If you are able to use better words, if you are able to describe it appropriately 100% to the reality, it makes a lot of difference. Alright, so what do we normally describe? We can describe a person, okay, for example, such a person, my father, my mother, or a place, say for example Jaipur, Delhi, or objects, something like as simple as a water bottle. Pictures, say a photo frame. Events, say a competition in your school or college. Processes can be something as simple as making a toy out of, say, paper or wood. Feelings are the different emotions that we have. Let us look at each of them in detail. Alright, describing a person. Let us take this example. Do any of you know who this person is? It is none other than the human calculator. She is known as a human calculator or human computer. That is Shakuntala Devi, who was very famous because she could do calculations very fast, right? So what would you tell while describing a person? You will tell who it is. That includes their name essentially, right? What are they known for? What is really famous about them? Or say what is important about them. Their attributes, okay? Their personality attributes, kind, loving, and so on. The qualities that they have as a person. Their behavior, their social status, their achievements, their contributions, say to the society or to the nation, anything. The personal impressions that you received when you spoke with them. Again, you need to use what is really required. Now all these criteria may not be applicable to all the people. Depending on what your situation is or who your person is, you can describe them. Describing a place. Looking at these pictures, can you tell me which place this is? Okay, but what happens when you're describing a place? First of all, you mention the name of the place, okay, and then you tell the appearance of that particular place. Then you also tell the importance of that place, the distance. Okay, say you are located in Delhi, and from Delhi, how far is this place? Or depending on where you are located, okay, this is just an example. Specifications that could be important, and the images that are there. For those who haven't guessed, this place is these particular locations are located in this very famous city called Aurangabad. All right. Next is describing an object. For example, here a telephone. One day the telephone is going to be obsolete. Nobody is going to use a telephone. So how, say you have to explain what a telephone is to your next generation, what will you tell? What is the name of this particular object? Where is it found? What are its physical properties? What are its qualities? What are its uses? How is it used? And also you can mention the material out of which it is made. Describing a picture, right? Here I have given you two pictures. One is a very famous painting, okay, the Mona Lisa, and the second is a very sweet family picture of this particular fictional character, Harry Potter. Alright, so what is it about? You can tell. Who are involved in it? Okay, if it's a picture of these real people, like I told you, Harry Potter and his parents, you can tell, okay, these three people are there in this particular picture. And who are involved in this Mona Lisa? Actually, what is really important, it's a very historically, it's an historically important painting, okay, by Da Vinci. So you can talk about the painter. Okay, how is it? You need to describe it. Okay, that in the background this is there, in the foreground such a thing is there. For example, in the background I can see mountains, so on. Next is the details of that particular picture. You can see that these people are smiling, or these people are crying, whatever that it is, or the message or the note. Next is description of an event. Description of an event is something that we see almost every day. What happens in newspapers? For example, such an event has happened. Writing a report. Here I have given you an example of a convocation day, which is a very important day in all our lives. A convocation ceremony. How will you write the report? How will you describe that event? You will first of all tell what is that event. It's a convocation ceremony, and where did it happen? Say for example at the university, and if the university has this particular hall, you can mention that. Say for example Mahatma Gandhi Hall, or say Huempu Hall. And when did it happen? Say it happened on Saturday and so date, say 4th August 1999. Then who are involved? Who are the main people who are involved? Apart from students, there are other dignitaries. There could be a guest who has come, a guest of honor. That person could be really important, an important member of the society. Also other teachers and faculty members, chancellor, vice chancellor, so etc. Okay, all the people who are involved you need to mention. The order of actions, this is the most important part of description. You need to tell what happened first. First the guests were the dignitaries were on the stage, and there was a speech from the guest. Before that the principal will speak, and then the guest of honor will speak, so on, and later the degrees were awarded to the students, and later there was a group photograph, and so on. In that particular order you need to mention. Describing a process. What is going on here? You see a man is making tea. What is being made? This is just an example, okay? For example, making tea. It could be any process really. What is being made? Tea is being made. What things are involved? Say in this particular example, we need to know the ingredients of that particular, of making a tea, of making a cup of tea. Stepwise procedure. First you take the utensil and then boil some water and then add some tea leaves and so on. You will tell the stepwise procedure of doing something. By any chance, do any of you happen to know who this man is? Please, if you know, do mention it in the comment section. He is a very famous man. Right. Next is the description of feelings. Human beings have a lot of different emotions and lot of different feelings, and we keep switching from one emotion to other depending on the situations. So when, say for example, you have experienced something, or your friend has experienced something, you want to express this to someone else. Say you come back home and you tell this to your mother. What will you tell? What will you tell to your mother? What actually happened? What was the background? Say your friend is crying. You will tell, what happened. She it so happened that she lost her journal, and how he or she felt. Definitely she must have felt devastated, because she had put in a lot of efforts throughout the semester to write that particular journal, to complete it. What were the emotions involved? She must have felt very she must have felt cheated also. She's feeling helpless. She's trying to also figure out what she can do. Reaction to the current situation. She now she has found out that she has lost. What is her reaction? Probably if she's a sensitive girl like me, she will start crying for sure. Actions taken. What are the actions that she has taken now? Maybe she has complained to the lab instructor, also written a formal complaint to the class teacher, and three other things she must have done. Correct? Complaint, then actions taken, then last is the decisions made. If she was a person like me, she would have definitely started writing the new journal already, because you can't really rely. If someone has stolen your journal, they have stolen it for good. They're not going to give it back to you, right? So the decision that she has made is to start writing the new one already. This is how you describe feelings, right? What is really important in describing something? The major elements in order for your description to be as impressive as possible. You need to remember that when it comes to speech, not written speech, writing, or when it comes to spoken English, you need to look at the situation and decide how far you are going to go in details. Okay, sometimes you are at a job interview, you cannot afford to waste too much time describing something too much in detail. In that situation, you need to be very precise, and you need to be very, you need to speak to the point. However, if you are given say to write an essay of 2000 words, you are very free to describe more and more, as much as possible. The more details you give, the better that is. First of all, you need to have a vivid imagination. Okay, we all do have a very good imagination, which involves all 5 senses. So try and include all the 5 senses in your writing. That makes writing really impressive. I am just taking it for granted that this description you will use in written examinations. I could be wrong. You could be using it for some other purpose also. Alright, next is usage. Figurative language is used. Okay, simile, metaphor, and many such figures of speech can be used in order to make your writing very impressive. Next is to have a dominant impression on the listener or the reader. Okay, you need to give a touch of emotions to your writing. That can really be a game changer. Next is to use a precise language. Instead of using long descriptions, if you can find a word that describes that particular situation, you please use that word. Organization is again extremely important. When you are telling how to make tea, you can't directly go to the last step. Correct? That will make no sense. And then tea was made. That cannot be your first sentence unless you're doing some creative writing. Correct? Organizing, it should go stepwise. That is very important. Alright, with this we come to the end of today's session, that is description. Thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed the session.